Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. One of the most insightful speeches from the United Nations was somehow overlooked by the Western mass media. And that speech was held by, or was delivered by, Alexander Vucic, the president of Serbia. In his speech, in his address to the United Nations body, he brings the issue of double standard. And the double standard is directed towards the so-called monolithic or West. And he's talking about how come Serbia, the collective West, better put, by Russians. How come Serbia, or the country that did not attack anyone, was attacked by a defensive alliance going by the name of NATO? And how come that is okay, and then they carved out of a sovereign country of Serbia that never attacked anybody, they carved out Kosovo, and then those states who illegally bombarded Serbia in 1999 recognized the independence of Kosovo as of 2008. And then he says, as the Russians, they call the Russian invasion of Ukraine as illegal, but they don't call the invasion of those NATO states illegal. How is that possible? Kosovo is not recognized by the United Nations, but it has some recognition by the international community. A week or 2 weeks ago, I read about Kosovo in an article, and they mentioned Kosovo, and they said more than 100 countries recognized Kosovo's independence. And when they say more than 100, it must be 101, 102, because otherwise they will say almost 110 countries. So it will be 106, 7, 8. So I figured out it was 101, 102 out of 193 or 194. It depends who's who, what's what. And I found a little article here just to bring up who recognizes Kosovo actually, and how much recognition Kosovo has. So as of September 4th of 2020, 100 out of 193 at that time countries of United Nations member states recognized Kosovo. That is 51.8%. So half recognize, half don't. Then it says that out of the European Union member states, 26 recognize out of 30, which is 86.67. From NATO member states, it's 31 out of 57, which is only 54.39%. So there's not a wide recognition, I would say. It's 50-50. It says among the G20 countries, 11 have recognized Kosovo's independence. So 8, however, have not, says here. And where is the one? Because it says Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and United Kingdom and the United States recognized, and 8, however, have not. Well, it's missing one. Who that might be? Right? I mean, by my mathematics, 8, right? 8 plus 11, it's kind of like 19 as G20. I don't know. Russia is kicked out or what? Probably, because it's not right over there. And at that time it was, 2020. So Vucic says that he or his country will never recognize Kosovo's independence, and he points out to the hypocrisy of these countries, the same kind of countries that bombarded his country in 1999 and invaded, illegally bombarded his country, sovereign country, independent country, are so, upset about Russia invading Ukraine. Now, Russians have their own motives and reasons that they put forth why they did that, but they don't consider themselves as a defensive alliance. Remember, it was a UN resolution that condemned the attack of these NATO member states of Yugoslavia, Serbia. Nevertheless, they ignored it. So he said, United Nations lost its credibility. Not only on that occasion, but obviously he's very concerned about that example. And I think he points out not only to the hypocrisy of the Western countries, but to United Nations impotence. And when I say Western countries, I'm just saying, the usual suspects. And also the impotence of the United Nations, who never gave the authorization. Nevertheless, these guys did not give a damn about it. So it's a very interesting speech, but I picked only this part of it because I think that was the most relevant when you go and checkmate the how should I put it, the opponent. In this case, the United States and its lackeys that are the same, who cry now that Russia invaded sovereign Ukraine. And also exposing UN's impotence and lack of accountability of these perpetrators. There are some other examples where United Nations, closed its eyes or against its, resolutions, countries imposed illegal sanctions, illegal embargoes. You got Cuba as an example. And the perpetrator, in this case, United States of America, was never punished. So when the United Nations and these guys, United States and other guys, come in front of the United Nations body and they talk about rule of law and international order and things like this, you should not believe a word. Not even agree with them, because your sins were not punished. I do not wait these sins to be punished until yours are. I'm not saying that two wrongs make a right, but let's figure out your wrong, get the people punished before they die, and then we get here and analyze this one and punish whomever is guilty. That's how I would do justice. But obviously justice is based on who has the power, not who's right, who has the power. It's been like this, is like this, and will be like this. Why? Because we are human. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.